What is Fujimoto's plan? That's a good fucking question. That's the question we will get into today on the broadcast. Welcome back to another episode of the Public Safety Special Broadcast. Today we had a special episode last week where I laid out all my thoughts on everything that's going on with Yoru. There's a lot of things have happened, and there's a lot of discussion to be had. That's where I stand with that. If you haven't seen that, you can check it out. If you give a fuck, we'll probably get into some of that today. I am joined by two wonderful guests today. Let's all go around and introduce ourselves in the classic public safety fashion. Give your name, age, and devil contract. I'm, of course, your host, Secret Doves, age 34. Check that. Yes, okay, that's true. And my contract is with the War Devil. Oh, God.
It must be difficult.
Your reaction.
Yeah.
Your reaction to the chapter. Oh, God.
She's a chaotic character. Fizzy.
Dude, she's crazy.
Hello. I'm Fizzy Breezy. I'm an artist on Twitter.
Yes.
My age is 27. Oh, my God. Anyways.
Ooh, catching up.
Catching up.
You'll never catch me.
I just celebrated my friend's birthday. It was 35. So like,
damn.
We're getting there. Anyways,
All
right. My contract is with the Nostalgia Devil because we're going to be talking about look back, and it's a lot of nostalgia if you're an artist who started early.
Yeah.
Hit hard.
Yes.
My name is Zuzu. I'm 18 years old, and my devil contract is now with the Apocalypse Devil.
Whoa! You upgraded from the tomato to the apocalypse. That's crazy.
I'm having some existential crisis lately, so
Yeah.
I don't know if that's that's the evolution
Yeah.
of the devil.
This is what happens when you read Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
This is like
We
Aki.
Chainsaw Man have look back in the same week, elections, like all that shit's going
I
on.
forgot elections happened.
You
I didn't.
forgot?
I
did not
mean,
forget.
do you want to remember that? This is
Just I just blacked it out
Can
of his
you
mind.
beat the U.S. election devil?
Well, yeah.
It must be a
You know,
pretty strong move.
the gun goddess is in her element this week.
Yeah.
But we will be discussing more enjoyable things, including Annihilating 2, the last two Chainsaw Man chapters. They're kind of a little bit of a set. They kind of come together.
Destined together, right?
Yeah. But before we get into that, you can see it.
Yeah.
Now you can see it on my wall. There it is. Look Back.
But look back!
Has released on streaming on Amazon Prime. If you have not watched it already, go get on there, steal somebody's Amazon account, do whatever you have to do to go watch Look Back right now. You know, get your hands on it, watch it. It is less than 1 hour long. You know, you don't gotta commit a whole evening to this. It's just a nice little afternoon watch, and it'll ruin your whole day. You know what I mean? it'll devastate you.
You can even rewatch it.
Yeah, you can.
Just spend your entire evening watching it 5 times.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. You could watch this 4 times
Back to back.
in the time you could watch one Avengers movie. Think about that.
Something to think about.
Value. Incredible.
Look back on it.
Look back, yes. Think about it. Look back.
There's
Okay.
a lot to talk about. Look back, right? We're gonna start with that.
Yes, let's go. Because Zuzu, I think you just got to see it for the first time.
Yeah, I just got to see it. It's amazing. I already laid out my feelings about it on my letterbox.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be pretentious about it because really I just use it as a, I don't know, diary entry for movies.
What do you think?
So, yeah. What did I think? It's really a love letter to artists. What can I say? It says a lot about how we get inspiration, how people affect us to move forward, and a lot of things. It made me pretty emotional because I don't know. I mean, at first watch, I didn't like get tears. Like
Yes.
I did get tears at the first 5 minutes. Like the music hit me. I saw Fujino drawing, and the music hit, and like
That was
it made me so happy and so sad at the same time.
that was my
It's like a reflection on yourself, seeing her draw with the music and just you looking at her back. And it's like,
Yes,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
well, I took my friend to see it. And afterward, I was like, "Did you cry?" And he's like, "Dude, I was crying the whole time." I started crying right at the beginning because the music came in and the animation was so beautiful, and I just started
That's
crying.
the
I was
part
just
that
like, dude.
made me tear up the most.
He didn't know anything about the story, or like he is not an illustrator or artist or anything. He was just like, "Bro," I started crying instantly. I was
Right?
like, "Oh
It's
yeah."
stories like these that can touch people. Like there is so much love put into it. Like
It's incredible.
Oshiyama did his job. You really put his heart into it.
Oh, Shama, God, please.
Actually, about
Please
Fujino
do
and
it.
Kyomoto, I just recently learned that the names came from not Fujimoto himself, but his friend. I think the author of Hell's
Yes.
Paradise.
Yuji Kaku, who was working on it with him,
Yeah.
was like, "You should name them after yourself." And he was like, "I can't do that, man. Like,
It's
that's so
corny, right?
cringe." And yeah, Yuji Kaku's an interesting guy. There's a couple different stories about him, like saying, like, sort of like, kicking Fujimoto in the pants, being like, "Just do it, man. Just like stop getting up in your head. Just fucking."
He's also the person that
ham.
outed Fujimoto for just being Denji, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're good friends, right?
Yeah, probably.
They did a couple interviews together. Seems like good buddies.
Yuji Kaku, I liked Hell's Paradise quite well. I didn't love the ending, but I think it was good. And
Is it over?
It's over. It didn't.
Wow.
Yeah, I should
solid.
read it sometimes. I have it in my
You
local
find
bookstore,
it.
but I
think
still
you find it
haven't read
interesting.
it.
It's got some interesting ideas. It's got I never
Yeah,
liked the
I've
parts in
seen the
Shonen.
first episode of the anime. It's okay.
It's pretty sweet.
It's pretty cool.
I do hope Kaku comes back because Ayashimon was unfortunate.
It was his work?
Yeah, Ayashimon was a little.
Dude, that really sucks.
Yeah, Ayashimon. It was. I feel like it was going a few too many directions. Focus in, lock in, Kaku.
Yeah, right.
can come
What
back.
were your guys' impression on Look Back?
Oh,
Um,
Fizzy,
I
go
watched
first.
it twice.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it twice in the cinemas, which is pretty good. I kind of had a similar experience to how when I first read it twice. How I read Look Back was like, I read the first time when it came out, and then like a year later, I came back to the manga for some reason. I don't know why. And that was when the tears finally hit. Like the first time was just, oh, this is real good. But the second time I was like bawling when she turned the page, and it's like you see Shark Man going, "It's sharking time."
Yes.
That's
And
the part.
you're all over the place.
That's the part where I bawled my eyes out. I was like, I can't believe I am bawling towards a page of Shark Kick doing.
That's
saying
Fujimoto
sharking
right there.
Time.
That's
Yeah.
Tasi Fujimoto right there.
It is, yeah. It's an amazing page. Yeah, but like I had a similar experience with like the movie itself. Like the first time watching it was like it feels like a more personal thing. Like it feels like a reflection on myself as an artist. But
Yeah.
on the second watch, it's more like I am seeing the story of the characters and Fujimoto more instead of seeing just a reflection of me.
Interesting.
And it's just such an interesting experience. It actually hits harder the second time because I can just
Yeah.
look at the story for what it is instead of like projecting my own experiences on it. But yeah,
I also had the 1-2 punch. There's something about it. I think my feeling was that the second time, the first time you're going through it, I felt like it was just so overwhelming, like how good it is. It was just like, oh
Right,
shit,
right.
this
It's
is,
that
oh my
good.
god, like
The
you're just like,
animation is
wow,
always
wow,
moving.
holy shit. And then the second time you go through it, it's like actually sinking in. The actual story is breaking
Yeah.
through just the quality of the work on a technical
Yeah.
level. And then like that's when it's hit. That's when it hits. When, because at that point you also know where the story's going. Like if you forgot or if this is your first time seeing it, then you know you're like, oh yeah, oh no, and you see how it all like how the story,
Unravels?
yeah, how it's gonna play out, how it all connects together, how those moments at the start fit
Yeah.
into the bigger story, and it
It's
just
really good.
It's also really fun trying to cut through the story on what Fujimoto is expressing about himself and what he's wanting to the
yes.
reader, because those are very two different things. Like, because like in one of the readings you would like, what is Fuji? Is this Fujimoto? It's like Fujino Kyomoto. What does this tell about his experiences as a mangaka? That's one thing. But of
Yeah.
course, this is still Fujimoto's public manga. It's not a private manga. So it's like, this is for us to read. So obviously he wants us to get something out of it that's not just his own story. Um, and
I
it's
wonder.
quite interesting trying to parse between the two, because like
What do you?
one of my like takes
Yeah.
of it is like about how he's trying to reach people even though they're not there. It's like when Kyomoto died, she's not there to reach to like receive Fujino's manga anymore. She can't see reactions anymore, and it's kind of reflective of like Fujimoto can't really see his readers anymore, because he's not creating for a person; he's creating for a nebulous mass of people. And it's just interesting to see that he continues to draw even though he just can't get that, I guess, satisfaction anymore.
The connection. It's interesting.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't even though he doesn't have that direct connection, he still has the indirect connection, because the alternate universe, Kyomoto, is still impacting him, even though she's not there. She's not there to influence him directly, but she's always there indirectly.
See, I'm really interested in hearing people's interpretations of Look Back, because I feel like there are a lot around. I've heard so many different ones, and that's a really interesting one. Like,
Yeah.
that dimension is something I had not thought about. Like, what was your
You have it?
takeaway, Zuzu, if you have one off the dome?
Like on the whole story, or how?
Anything.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's probably a little common, but I think it's just like keep moving, keep living. Don't like.
Don't look back in anger.
I need a second.
The dog
Yeah,
telling
actually,
you to
yes.
look back.
I will take up some time with my interpretation. Thus far, you know, I do go for. I mean, it's a little face up, but there is the very blatant aspect of the fact that it is Fujino and Kyomoto, and like these are two sides of being an artist, and you know, the two characters both go through experiences that you know, Fujimoto went through of
I'm back.
of one of them becomes a working manga artist at a young age, and the other one goes to art school. And those are two things that Fujimoto both did. He did both of those things.
It also feels like two trajectories that Fujimoto was grappling with his life.
Right.
Because he's
Yeah,
looking
for
back on his
sure,
life, it's
for
like these
sure.
are two paths that he wanted to do, of being a storyteller or being an accomplished like artist.
Being
As in,
good
like,
at art.
artist.
Speaking of Chainsaw Man art quality discourse, you know, maybe you should.
Yeah,
Maybe you
it's one of
should.
those things I don't, for some reason I just don't see anyone say it, but like it's something that I've been championing for so long. Whereas like I don't think it's a mistake that Kyomoto, who's the better artist of the two, is the one that died, and this is
Right.
the story of Fujimoto.
Right.
It's like he I mean, I keep forgetting what interview it is, but it's the one where he like compares himself to Akasaka Aka, Kaguya, where he's like,
Oh yeah.
he's kind of envious of his position of just being a writer.
Right.
But like Fujimoto still likes drawing, he likes making manga, but like he has to talk about how much sacrifices he has to make for his art for him to actually continue being a storyteller.
Yes.
And
It's interesting because Kimoto asks Fujino, even in the alternate universe, about why did you quit drawing, right? I think
Yeah.
it's really interesting. It's like he's talking to himself like that. I also think
What do you-
Kimoto resembles Fujimoto in like, I think in the recent interview he talked about the fear of, like, before he became a mangaka, of being like an otaku, right? And Kimoto really resembles that kind of character.
Yes.
yeah,
Feeling.
I feel like, for me personally, I connect a lot to both of them, even though I'm more like Fujino. I don't know. I feel like I'm more like Fujino because I have the same drive as her. You can assign yourself one or the other, but ultimately you can see yourself in both of the characters.
Right. I think anyone who pursues some kind of art, there is that dual tension of like making stuff that people will respond to, making stuff that will, get people's attention, and then just being good, right? Just like
yeah.
Yeah.
getting better, and just like being you're just grinding away on your own,
Something
alone.
I really appreciate about both characters is that it really is the two divides of being an artist. Of like, Kyomoto is like completely dedicated to her craft to the point where like she's a shut-in basically,
Right.
while like Fujino is more of an average person where like she hangs out with friends and that kind of stuff. And to her, being an artist means sacrificing a lot of things that she enjoys in life, like being with her family,
Yeah.
being with
Yeah.
friends. And personally, I'm going through my own Fujino arc right now, where like I haven't drawn in a while. To be honest, I'm busy just hanging out and doing other things, playing video games. So it's like okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's so tough because like you do have to sacrifice so much just to continue being an artist.
Yeah.
And
it takes.
In the case of Fujino, it's feels like such a not selfless, but it's like, why are you doing this? It's like she doesn't really
Why do
like
you draw?
enjoy it that much. She does enjoy it, but it's like there's a level of like antagonism going on with her and the art.
That's right.
She's not really as apparent with Kyomoto, which is Kyomoto just enjoys art. It's like,
yeah, Kyomoto, she's enthralled by the beauty of the backgrounds, and she wants to draw them. She wants to get better at drawing them. That's sort of that direct passion. Just like this is what you do, This is how you live your life, and then the other side of like the rest of life, right? Like, but okay, that's the thing though, is that the reason that Kyomoto wants to break up the duo and go to college anyway is because she wants to experience life, right? She wants to make friends and talk to people and get out and
I think there's something about her depending a lot on Fujino to improve, or like where she sees like Fujino as being her like rock that holds her, right?
Yeah, her inspiration.
Yeah, I think she wanted to like go on, do something more.
I forget this user's name. Is it Minami? There's this mangaka, published shoujo mangaka, who was posting about look back on Twitter, and she was talking about how the phrase what is it? Washing someone's back and maturing. There's like a Japanese turn of the phrase, like children watch their parents back and mature, as sort of like children learn from their parents, but it's sort of like this.
Like an expression in Japan.
Fujino mentions it with regards to Kyomoto. She's like, "Oh, you watch my back and become a better artist."
Oh yeah.
Right, and then the last the comic that Kyomoto receives, or that Fujino gets through the door, the magical realism moment. That comic is titled
Look back.
watching the back, watching as
Wow.
as in
And
from that
also-
phrase, right?
And also,
Taking that.
after Fujino receives that manga, she looks at the back of Fujino's shirt or
Yes.
jacket.
Yeah.
That she signed with her name on it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Look back. Indeed. That's the fucking movie.
Dude, that's
So many layers.
you need to rub.
Yeah, it's correct. The story's correct.
Just thinking more about it is just it makes me realize like looking
mean-
after someone like being there's this relationship between the fan and the one being admired or like the artist. I don't know, like is it fan or is it
I would say it's fair to call Kyomoto a fan
Right.
right?
as
Then
well as
what
a friend.
do we call Fujino?
Yeah, Fujino was
Fujino's
a
a
fan
trailblazer.
Too. No, Fujino was a fan too, right? Fujino was inspired by Kyomoto's artwork. Like, wow, she's so good at illustrating. I have to get better at drawing too.
Oh man, speaking of that scene,
Right.
man,
Does
it's
it
such a
feel
good
like
it's such a good scene.
It feels more like I mean, I guess in a way it is inspiration, but it's like I feel
it's
like she
a
got inspiration more once
rivalry.
she realized, rivaling. I think she
Rivalry,
got
but-
that inspiration after Kyomoto, after she met her, right?
But
For the
it's
first time.
it's still it's the same principle of like you see the other person, they're ahead of you, and so you follow them, right? And so you try to be like them. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
they're better than me. I gotta follow them.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm-
true.
You're watching their back and you're chasing them. And
I just
Yeah.
wanted to go back on that scene of her like when she saw like Kyomoto's artwork for the first time and she decided to improve her art. It's such a good scene because like I think if anyone who was a self-taught artist can relate, where like she spends books and books and books of like practice, like pure reference practice and studies,
Yeah.
and at the end result of the manga that she made still looks terrible.
I actually really like that there's this distinction made how many sketchbooks she has on like on the side of her room and how many Kyomoto has.
Yes,
Like,
it's so
the
good.
impact hits you so much more. Like you see how much Kyomoto put like the love into drawing.
Yeah.
well,
I didn't phrase it right.
it's an interesting way. It's an interesting point because Kyomoto is like she's in her own words, she's drawing in her room just because she has nothing else to do, right? She's just like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
She doesn't go to
exactly.
school. She doesn't have to do homework and everything.
like she's completely isolated. She has shut herself off from the world, so she's draws because she's just, what else is she fucking gonna do?
Right.
And that was confusing, challenging for her. She didn't know if that was a good thing to do, like the right thing to do, because on the one hand, yes, she can draw really well, but she never talks to anybody. She doesn't go anywhere. She doesn't do anything. And then in that
Yeah.
original timeline,
It's Fujino who brought her out.
right?
Gave
Fujino,
her
who
reason to go
made
pursue it.
who made her feel like drawing was a good thing. You know what I mean? Who made her
Yeah.
feel like I'm glad that I was drawing, right?
Dude, I really love that quote that like she says, "I'm glad I came out of my room today." I think it speaks a lot to people who are afraid of interacting and trying new things and just connecting. I mean, especially especially as someone who has such different interests, right? To connect with someone who gets it and just makes you experience the world again. It's so beautiful.
Yes. All right. There's so much more to say about Look Back. I'm going to try and put all my thoughts together into one piece. I'm sure all of us will continue to yammer about it as it's still in the zeitgeist. I'm definitely going to come back to it for the rest of my life.
Can I ask one thing about Look Back right now? So you know, in the alternate universe where Fujino saved Kyomoto and she's in the ambulance, do you think that she was actually getting back into drawing, or
No.
was she lying about it?
No shot.
Yeah, definitely not, right?
No shot at all. Because, I mean, it's Kyomoto, right? Kyomoto is asking her, why did
Yeah.
she quit? She's
Yeah.
not going to say, because of you. After saving her life.
The other way around, right? She's gonna come up with something convincing.
Yeah. No, that's Fujino's. You know, that's a little bit of Fujino's charming character, but I do. Okay, one last thing before we move out the way. Before we have to talk about fucking Chainsaw, man. Fucking, we have to move on from peak to mid. Oh God, fuck, God damn it.
Yeah. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Who gives a fuck about Chainsaw, man? Let's keep talking about Look Back.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the alternate timeline? What do you two think about this other world? What do you think that that does for the story? Because it's really interesting. I feel like every other aspect of it is like fits really nicely into this perspective, and then there's this alternate timeline that comes in, and it gives us a lot of interesting things. What do you two think about that?
I'm gonna give my brief impressions first. I think Look Back would be a 7 out of 10 manga without the alternate universe.
Okay. Yes. I agree. I think it's like probably the most important part of the story.
I don't think it works without it. Yeah, I don't feel like it's just very generic. If that's not the case, if it doesn't have it.
Can I add something?
Yes.
He added a pinch of fantasy.
That's right.
Yeah.
For the good bad Eri.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes. The touch of
think-
fantasy.
What I think about the alternate universe, I think it is a pinch of fantasy that may or may not be real. It may or may not intersect with the real world, but I think it's not made up in Fujino's head. Just to be clear, it's real, and I think somewhere out there, Fujino and Kimoto work together on a new manga.
You have the yes.
Don't
She
worry.
was being honest. You know, she's moonlighting for her karate.
I mean,
workout.
she would try, right? She would try. It would be more like she would make ideas for Kimoto and she would draw them all.
Something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe.
But for me, to go to a bit more detail on what I think of the alternate universe is like, it is about the influence of like the author's influence on the people, and also like the reader's influence on the author. Like, without it, those teams would not be cemented, because, like as I said earlier, is like the fact that something that's materially in the context of the movie does not exist is affecting Fujino to continue on with her life. Is like impacting everything. It's like you can't see this. You can't see these things. Like when you're a big author, you can't see all your fans' smiling faces and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's there, right? It's there.
Yeah, it's there. It's always there. It's always affecting you in ways you can't know.
I
I think.
have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think the alternate timeline is the better world?
Well,
Yes?
I don't know. I think. Well,
That's
We
right.
don't
It's
have
like
Shark King in it though.
it's
That's
like
right.
you want me to answer if Kyomoto dying is a good thing. I don't know.
That's a complicated question.
I think both have good things about them, and I can't say for sure if one is better than the other. Like, That's not the point, really, right?
It's not the point, but I want to recontextualize the question. Would you want to live in a world without Chainsaw Man? I mean,
That's
sorry,
I mean,
Shark Kick.
Good,
that's
good point.
that's what I'm saying. It's a very interesting move because normally there's a way you can see the alternate timelines. Oh, if only that had happened, you know. If only Kyomoto could have lived, you know. If Fujino had never become a mangaka, if she had given up on art and had never drawn for anybody, if Fujino had lost all her reason to draw, maybe Kyomoto could live in this scenario. But you know, could Fujino, like, what about Fujino? You know, what about what she wanted to do? What about
Yeah.
her goals
Aspirations.
and everything? It's like you know, and then we come back to Fujino, and that's what she's thinking about, right? That's exactly why did I draw? Why was I drawing in the first place?
I think something about the alternate universe, besides the fan reading, it's about the loss of a loved one too, right? It's about trying to cope with something Fujino thinks it's because of her, because she drew. What if she never drew, right? But it would mean to give up on her dreams too.
Yeah. And the other thing is,
And yeah,
she and
and it
Fujio-
ends with
she-
it ends with Kimoto saying it's okay because you have to live and continue on even if
right.
things like these happen.
And in that universe, Fujino and Kyomoto, they're not friends. They don't know each other. They're strangers, right? They just meet in this incident. But
It's also very likely that Fuji is not going to actually make a manga in that universe.
Yeah.
At all.
not gonna happen, right? So like, there's a lot to it. I think it's a very interesting story. I'm still thinking about it because I think
Yeah.
there's there's so many layers to it. We're gonna leave this discussion there for now.
Let's start with the
let's get into my job, my role as a public safety social media correspondent.
yeah.
We gotta talk about Chainsaw Man. We gotta talk
Well-
because oh my god! All right, Chainsaw Man chapters 181 and 182.
Well, where can we start? I mean, does
Alright.
does anyone want to start?
Let me just go over all of what we're talking about. All of what
Yeah,
happens in 181 and 182.
Alrighty.
Because this is a two chapter. In 181, this is where we find out that the trees are people. That in this domain, you turn into a tree, and the tree has to like grow and die and then rot, and over that time you can, if that happens, then you can be returned to reality, which is just
It doesn't seem fair.
Can I go on a tangent for a bit? I just noticed one of these trees have boobs.
yeah, you gotta, he has to do it.
Freakamoto. Right
Yes, Freaky Moto. The old crone looking tree. And then Yoru abuses Denji some more, which no one was happy about that. No one likes that.
Yeah. Really disgusting. I feel like it's not that I think she's trying to take control of the situation by abusing Denji. Like, girl, Yoru, what has he ever done to you?
Her heart is full of
hated her.
hatred. He's Chainsaw Man. She hates Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, but she's she's acting towards him because he's weak like that. Because she can just because he won't be able to fight back, and that's the most disturbing part of it, I think. Yoru doesn't care about human beings, really. Not about us, even.
No.
I think that's one of the.
She tried to blow us up, like with her.
Yeah.
With her gun hand.
Of all the things you can decide to prove it, it's like, oh, I'm gonna shoot myself in the head. It's like I'm so confident this won't happen.
She could care less.
Yeah, she's done.
I would say this chapter has one of the most baffling Yoru expressions of the entire run.
Really?
The angry
it's
crying.
The kind of cutesy expression she makes when it's like she says, "'Cause you're cute." It's like that's not Yoru's face.
Yes,
dude,
it's not a Yoru's face.
Grow up so bad. It's ew.
And also the really dumb expression when she said she got over her own traumas. It was like, okay.
Oh yeah, the Yoru expressions
that's very
are coming
Yoru,
in
but
hot.
like it's so funny to go from.
They're coming in crazy.
I feel like she tried to put an act of like it's all manipulation, right?
I don't think so.
I think so. At least.
I think she's genuine, which makes it worse. Like she's genuinely just like this.
It does.
She's like an erratic. She's like, she's erratic, violent, destructive, chaotic, but
impulsive,
genuine. She is not. She's not hiding. This is all face up, and you probably won't like it because of how evil and selfish it is. But
true.
It's war. Yes.
War is just the final call for imposing your own self on someone.
That's right.
Yeah,
when
she's
you
really
can't get your way.
Yes.
When you can't get your way, you can't get your economic policy, your resources, your differences.
You take
what
it
can
by
you
force,
do about war?
right?
Yes. Take it by force.
I think it illustrates another form of abuse really well, right?
Yeah. Yes.
She's really emotionally abusive towards Denji, and she
and
it's
Asa,
genuine
right?
too, right? It's not like she's trying. I mean, it is manipulation, but she's being genuine, right?
Right. She, this is her getting what she wants through the means that she understands, which are evil and bad, right?
Yeah.
Violence, the kind of emotional manipulation she was using on Asa earlier when she was blowing up the city. This kind of stuff. It's like the picture of a very mentally disturbed, people talk about the toxic motherhood coming back. A different kind than
Actually, about
Makima,
toxic
right?
motherhood, is it toxic motherhood or is it just another facet of motherhood? Because I'm not sure if you can call it toxic. A lot of things about parenthood can be called toxic when you look at it.
I mean, it seems pretty bad.
In the sense that it's damaging. Yeah, it's damaging. But it is just a
Right.
part of motherhood where it's you genuinely love the person, but you're still very one track and imposing your own self on the person.
Well, yeah.
Right?
In this,
Yeah.
we're looking at the problems, the toxicity in that, right? It's not.
I think
when you
it's
turn
more
it,
like the underlying issues, in a more exaggerated way, but
yes.
things like these do happen, really.
Right? Yes,
This kind of
they
treatment.
do. Yes, it does happen more than people really like to.
Right?
I think
talk
it's
about
just
or-
commonplace. Mothers kind of just being,
Well, okay, it's not.
I mean,
just
it's
that.
just speaking my own experience. Oh,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
I mean, coming from an Asian family, and most of my other friends are Asian. It's just mothers can just be very imposing on what they want you to do, and this is very emblematic of the type of behavior they have sometimes. It might not be the case on specific persons.
You're
But
not
like you can see bits on here.
you're
You
not
see-
doing what I want. That hurts me, or like,
Yeah.
why don't you do what I want? Why don't you shut up and stop crying?
Right.
Hating you. Yeah.
The thing is, it's really common. I
Yeah,
don't
and
want
then
to admit it.
the flipping back and forth between being very aggressive and manipulative and even violent, and then being very like loving and being like, but I care about you, but I'm trying to help
Yeah.
you, and it's
Right.
just so toxic, it's so evil. you
Well,
know?
it's not evil. It's just it is evil when you're being subjected to it. But when you look at it from the perspective of the person who's inflicting it, they're just as confused. I think they're being
An interesting
overwhelmed with their
point.
emotions and previous trauma, and that's what causes them to act like this.
Yes, I think what Fujimoto does that a lot of people don't like, they don't like this, but he shows you, he did this with Makima too, and I've seen a lot of negative reaction to that as well. Where, he goes into like, this is why Makima acted the way that she did, right? Makima had this other goal
Yeah.
that she was after. This is what she was looking for. And that's, these were her feelings that led her to be this way.
People don't like it.
Oh yeah, a lot of people reacted negatively to it.
Yeah.
Well-
It's sort of like, they're like, nah, fuck Makima. She's so evil, you know what I mean?
It's like a lot of people don't really want to see the side of the abuser. It's like the abuser could be coming from like a genuine feeling of like trying to be with someone,
Yes.
but they're just incapable of acting in a way that's a bit not destructive.
Right. They don't have...
Right,
They don't...
exactly. They can't act in a way that's not destructive.
They don't have a framework for that understanding. You saw that with Nayuta too. Nayuta was like on the
Actually,
brink,
I think
right?
it's not that they don't have a framework. It's just they have a different kind of one. Like
Well,
they're
okay.
different
Well,
kind
like,
of one.
yes, they have an unhealthy framework. They have built
Yeah, exactly.
an understanding that is harmful to the people around them. And it was like, Nayuta was there on that brink, right? Like, Nayuta was like, I can kill anybody I want. I'm a devil. We should just be devils. Fuck it. Let's just kill people and do whatever we want. And then Denji was there to pull her back from that brink. And Yoru is way too far gone, right? Like, she is completely
Right.
way over the edge, like, she's absolutely lost in it. And that, I think what Fujimoto does well is he gives you the both sides, which some people really are not a fan of that, but still hits you with like, this is very harmful. Like, there's no sense of like, well, it's okay because it's genuine, right? It's like, no, like, Denji's having a terrible time. This is all very bad, Asa
think
is in a
what I
horrible
really
situation
like-
now.
Yeah. I think what I really like about Fujimoto's writing, something he talked about in also a recent interview, is that he writes difficult people, writes complicated people that can't always solve their issues, right? When he's writing Makima or Asa or Yoru or any of these characters, he's
Denji.
looking and Fujino too. That's actually this was actually
Yeah.
about Fujino. He's saying that some characteristics of the person can be charming, right? Even if they're unhealthy.
Yes,
And
yes.
you don't have to change that. It's just you have to learn how to like that. That's my own how I feel though. I think you don't have to change that. You have to adapt to that, right? Learn how to manage your unhealthy behavior.
Yes.
I think as well with
In life,
Fujimoto's writing, especially with like the common theme of how he writes that, I don't think he's that concerned whether the bad person is in the right or wrong or how bad they are. He's more concerned with like how we as readers digest them as characters rather than like this
Yeah.
character's in the wrong, so
Yeah.
this should be like punished, or this should be like bad things should happen to them, or this should be a villain
I
to
don't
be
think
taken
that's
down.
the thing. He doesn't. He wants to present complexity,
There's
of the characters.
I think he does do that though. Like we had our cult leader guy. He got blown to smithereens, and these merchants of child death sitting in Kyoto don't come off looking too good. He definitely hits some very clear, some moments of clarity with morals. I think it's pretty.
But I don't think he's like
clear
concerned
overall.
with like bad guys have bad things happening to them or something like that. Where it's like
Yeah,
they just
overall,
are bad, and it's like
and there's like different things that happen. There's like sometimes people get comeuppance, but then that like vengeance is never comes free, if that makes sense. Like in Fire Punch, right? It's like Agni goes around and he takes down a bunch of like real fucking scumbags throughout the story.
Oh yeah.
But then as a result of that process, right, he creates his own cult and this own destructive cycle. And so it's like, you can have that if you want, but where does it go?
Necessary evil, right?
Yeah, there's Kobeni's line, it always comes back to that. There's no such thing as a life free of bad things. That's why sometimes I see the comments of like, people like, when do we get the healing? When are we free from the suffering in Chainsaw Man? I'm like, I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Like, that's not the point. I think
I don't know if
learning how to live with that suffering, isn't it?
I don't know if Fujimoto thinks that's a thing. I don't know if you think that's a real thing in real life.
He wants the readers to get that, because like it feels like kind of like opium.
Opioid.
Yeah,
it's the way like to quote Karl Marx, it's like how religion is the opiate of the masses. It's not that religion is drugs in that quote. Is that religion is a way for people to cope with reality.
Right.
And I don't think Fujimoto wants people to use his manga to cope with reality. He wants them to reflect on that.
He has been kicking down the door on cope.
him to face it, right?
Yes. He's been really...
I think it's especially clear in the conversation Denji and Asa have.
Oh yeah, especially this chapter.
Yeah,
it's about,
this chapter.
It's about Denji not actually having to handle his issues rather than cope with it.
All right, let's
through various different means.
We've been speaking a lot of generalities, which is very, very fun, and I love the yapping. But let's get into this chapter. Yeah, let's get to 182. We're over 181. More Yoru assault being very, genuinely expressing her emotions and causing harm to Denji in the process, right? And 182 picks up with that. We get a long-awaited, I think, Denji asserting himself, expressing how he feels about the situation, and pushing Yoru away. What did y'all think about this first conversation between Yoru and Denji? Yoru and Denji conversation. Let's go there.
I mean, he decided he doesn't want to run away from the problems anymore. So when he's come face to face with another assault that's trying to take off his mind of what he thinks really matters, like thinking over his mistakes, right? He's mentioned it beforehand. So he understands how harmful it is, and he pushes Yoru away.
Yes.
Right.
I was personally, I know I'm the resident Yoru fan, but like I was cheering for my boy Denji. Finally, Denji, let's go.
People have been waiting for this since before the church arc. People wanted this before the church arc.
Since the fucking since the very
Since
beginning.
Fumiko, I would say
Fumiko.
most of it was time.
I mean,
I
this.
think being in a mental clarity is what helped him like do it after all, right? I cheer for him, like Denji.
Also,
Congrats.
yeah, for me as well, this scene is finally like made everything that happened before click. Like, I kind of got what Fujimoto was getting with the previous chapters, like the whole Denji suffering arc. But like this has really made it like really hit properly. And it's like, yeah,
Yes.
reading it back again is like this just makes sense. As like I can't wait for the reread when this is finished.
It's
Because like
pretty
this
cracked.
is gonna work.
Why does Denji suffer? Because the world makes him suffer, you know. Oh, God, Denji! But then, through the suffering, you get the other side, and you find understanding. This is,
Yeah, exactly.
God!
Dude, the way Asa talks, she speaks about her mom to someone actually, like, we only get to see the flashback. She never tells it to Yuko.
That's right. That's right. This
First time she talked about her mom.
is the first time she is, you know, they are both, I mean, this is a
And it's
disaster
really
scenario,
difficult
right?
situation. Yeah.
It's also a great contrast. It's actually like Yoru and Asa talks about the same thing about how they handle issues, and Yoru is really doesn't do it well. She says she got over it, and Denji's kind of like,
Again, I
know,
think she's
in his
genuine,
state.
you know, she's a
yeah,
fucking
but like
devil.
when,
She's
when
like,
Asa actually
whatever,
talks
dude."
about her issues,
Isn't
How-
right?
Asa can't actually get over it. That's when Denji's finally coming to terms with like how he
Yeah.
is not
Yeah.
actually handling what's going on with himself.
This is
He's
interesting.
saying
And
you
vomits
can't
out.
even get over it. It's
Yeah.
not something you can easily get over it if it's someone you love.
Yes. There's no way I could get over that. It's just not possible. In the words
Yep.
of Asami Taka.
I think it makes Denji accept that those feelings he harbors, that of grief. I think ultimately part 2 talks a lot about grief, right?
Yes.
It's really central theme. Grief, death, coming to terms with death. You can't
Grief.
really defeat death, right? I mean, what Fami is trying to do is not gonna happen ever, because you can't erase that. Like, that's like a paradox in itself. How can you kill death? Doesn't that mean it has to die? Bro, what?
Oh, this is awesome. I love Chainsaw Man. That's true.
Obviously, now that Gege has finished JJK, he can now have Gege as a consultant about quantum mechanics.
That's
How does it work?
true. That's true. He can resolve the paradoxes. Get
Yeah.
Gege in. Bring Gege on the assistant team. He's free, right?
No. Keep him away. We need it
He's,
for a team.
he needs a
okay?
break.
Yeah.
He deserves a break. He deserves to not draw manga probably for a while.
He deserves to draw his idol manga if he wants
That's
to.
We're all waiting.
I'm really
Oshinoko
looking
is gonna
forward to it,
end.
actually.
Oshinoko's gonna end.
We need a new idol
We need a new
manga.
idol manga.
Oshinoko.
We need a new trashy idol manga to take the spot. Like,
Oh my God.
we're gonna be starving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? Oh, I love Mango. Mango never
If I'm
changed.
gonna be honest, Aka Akasaka fell off.
Uh,
Hard.
I'm
really bad.
I'm strongly in the camp that this is a lot of Mango's influence. If you've ever read Mango's other manga, you'll know. You will understand.
Who's other manga?
Mango the artist, the Oshinoko artist.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I forget the full name, but yeah, Scum's Wish and
Oh, okay.
her earlier
When he did
works.
Scum's Wish.
They are
Crazy.
very trashy. They're very drama, crazy, human drama stuff, soap opera type stuff. You know, it's
It makes sense now.
yeah. Now you get it. You're like, oh, it is Mango, isn't it? Free Aka.
Okay.
My goat would never.
But I do think he could do better. He
I
could
mean,
do better than that.
I'm sure. I don't know. I haven't really read Oshinoko very far.
Me neither, but I've heard a lot of things that I'd rather not.
Who cares? Who cares about the fucking...
Yeah.
We're talking about Chainsaw Man.
Right.
Yeah, I just want to be back to Chainsaw Man real quick. It's like something about Denji, right, reflecting on his own like grief and like yes, Denji's always been avoidant of negative feelings even before anyone died.
That's right.
Yeah.
When he was thinking about like what would happen if Aki died, what would happen if Power died, I don't want to think about it. It just makes me sad.
Yeah, thinking about sad things it just makes you sad.
Yeah, he's always been avoidant of these feelings because that's how he coped with being in a terrible spot.
That's right. He chopped up his own fucking brain.
Yeah.
This is Chainsaw Man Part 2 is so cracked.
Good.
So fucking good.
I think it says a lot that he's standing up for himself and seeing things how they are instead of running away.
Yeah, and he wants to reflect, right? He wants to do what he had been avoiding before.
But it's how he survived for so long until now.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have survived if he didn't have this type of behavior in part 1.
That's right.
He was going through it.
If this Denji was in part 1, he would not beat Makima.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I actually think the opposite. I think this is how Denji beat Makima, right? Because in that moment he reflected on all their time together, and that's
I think I would it wrongly. It's more like not how he would beat Makima. It's more like he wouldn't survive at all.
Right.
Like living
he
in
wouldn't
public safety.
if he had been contemplating his circumstances in detail and reflecting. Well, still though, he's got it wrong, right? Because he kind of gets it here where he gets mad at Yoru, where he's like, "Why are you doing these bad things to me? Like, why are you doing this to me? Stop it!"
Right.
You know, it's like he's getting like, "Oh, people are doing bad things to me. Like, there are bad things happening to me. I am being a victim here, and so I'm going to assert myself. Stop doing that." That's what he's getting more so necessarily like versus like thinking about things versus not thinking about things. It's like what he's willing to think about here now is that, you know, he's a victim. He, you know, this strategy of like putting away things that just make you sad is a way of like taking control, right? Like because if he thinks about them, they just make him sad and he can't do anything about it. So he just doesn't think about
but
it.
in a situation like this, it just it fights, like it reflects back on him, like
right, where he was saying like, I'm, you know, this is my fault, this is what I deserve for being a horny idiot, you know. That's like that's what happens with this kind of thought process, is when you let it in, then it has to become your fault because you're keeping it away because you can't do anything about it. And then if you let it in, now it has to be you, it has to be your problem.
You have to feel the pain and actually vomit out the Snow Devil.
That's right.
From his spawn.
Yeah.
That's the bad stuff.
Let's talk about that moment. It's very, very interesting because it happens after Asa. We get a huge Asa moment. Huge Asa moment. She says...
Huge Asa moment, finally!
Oh my god. Chainsaw Man taught me something. You taught me that I still have something to live for. Very interesting comment.
Yes!
Something I look forward to so much that I'm willing to eat a crab burger. At which point, Denji, shocking moment in the story, Denji vomits up the Snow Devil.
Is it just me, or does the Snow Devil look like a tempura to me?
It does.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It looks like an Ebi tempura.
It looks like an Ebi tempura. It looks a little good. I was saying it looks cute, and people were yelling at me. I was in a space saying he's a cute little guy.
He's a cute guy, yeah.
He's ugly cute, you know? Like...
That's the Japanese word for ugly cute.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. He's ugly cute. He's like... He's a little bug-eyed.
Right, the more important thing is that the trees are covered in snow. Initially.
True.
What else is missing? Huh?
That's right. What else has been erased in this world?
Really
Yes, she does.
interesting.
I admire.
But the Asa moment is really, it speaks a lot. It's the parallel to Falling arc that some people thought was gonna be like way sooner, but I'm really happy it came at this moment because
Oh yeah,
it's what Denji needed the most.
it's
Like
cracked.
acceptance is the hardest part of coming like with grief, right?
Yeah, and
And
it's what he said himself. That's when it really hits. When someone hits you with stuff you yourself said. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but you're like, damn, wait, you're right. That is true.
yeah, I'm wondering what is it Asa is looking forward to, but I can guess it's like someone who can share that pain, right? Those feelings, or like a connection with another person, right?
You know, people
Those two birds
people
in the
were
falling arc.
yes. I wish there was someone, and then dot dot dot, and we don't know what that was about.
It's never stated it's romantic, okay? It's never stated.
Yeah. Who knows?
It's only implied, right?
Well, I wonder. I really do wonder. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I know, fans have, understandably given Fujimoto a lot of crap for keeping Asa on the side for a long time. in the
I'm one
story.
of them.
Yeah.
I have a lot of beatings to give him.
Yeah. But he's paying it off. He's making it work because here we have something he can drop
Whoa.
this, and there's the mystery, right? We don't know, right? Whereas if
True.
we had all this time with Asa and we still didn't know this, it would feel very
I mean,
awkward. It would feel very
I still wish
artificial.
we had some time with her, like a little bit
Yes.
more time.
You know me, of course.
It's really unfair.
I want that. Like that would be more Yoru, which everyone hates at this point. But more Yoru, more Asa. We love that. I definitely would have loved to see that, but it's working. It is working in the way he's telling the story. His plan has some merits to it, like this moment where we're like, what does Asa want to live for? I want to know. Oh God.
I'm wondering if she still if she gave up on the saving Chainsaw Man plan, or is it still in action?
I think it's still in action.
Yeah,
I don't think she ever gave up on it.
It's been like a month in real time, but merely moments ago in the story, she was talking with Yoru like, are you sure this is like, will this really save him? And Yoru was like, that's what Fammy said.
Yeah,
Who cares? Fucking Yoru.
he doesn't.
She does not care. I really loved this page with Asa telling Denji and then he pukes, because it's just such a Fujimoto sequence of like, here's this big climactic moment for
Yeah.
the two characters. You're like, oh my god, Asa, Denji, they're doing it. It's happening.
I feel like-
We're coming full circle. And then Denji just pukes.
I feel like he's trying to make it weird on purpose. Like,
Oh, yeah.
how can I make it weirder so people freak out and then go like, it's Fujimoto?
There's definitely something like that, but I don't know. Like the puking thing, it's been part of the story the whole time.
It also just makes sense. It's such a very
makes-
visceral moment.
Yes.
As in,
Yeah, I mean-
he's confronting his own thing. And it's like
Yeah.
it's like when you're sick for so long and you finally get it out.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's been bottling up all these feelings, and now it's lurching out through his mouth.
Okay.
He has no choice but to throw up all those feelings, right? Because it's
Yes. Erase them. Unerase them.
And then Aki and Power come into the frame.
Oh yes, our final page. Denji's flashback memories. Another flashback.
Yeah, what have we missed? I'm being wide-eyed right now.
Are
What
we
have
talking
we
about
missed from
new
the art?
new Aki and Power content
That's
coming?
crazy.
That's
new lines.
Crazy.
Those actors are finally gonna get paid again.
Dude, that's crazy. That's nuts. Aki and Power rendered in the Part 2 style for the first time as well. Because
He looks very blocky. And
Yeah.
then, like his jaw looks very blocky.
yeah, it looks like his jawline is very like he's chatted out. He's mewing. I think that's a hair strand, but if it is his jawline, yeah, man, what the? He was, a power had just
Mug everybody.
puked in this scenario. He
He's
was,
doing a JoJo Part 6 where it's fake Jotaro.
yeah. They're gonna be fake. Let's see that
Yeah.
one.
I'm wondering if the flashback will be just for us or will it be for Denji more? Like, you know how like flashbacks are
Yeah,
something structured for characters and for audience, right?
I think
Yeah.
this is Denji's recollection. Like Denji is recalling. I think this is his
It's something
time
he's been
reflecting.
bottling up for ages. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it seems to me, but we don't know. We have no fucking clue what is happening in this goddamn story.
It's also like Denji never directly references them by name in part 2.
Yeah.
That's right.
The only time he references someone is like Power, and he just mentions reminds me of a friend,
An old friend.
rather than it reminds me of like
Wait,
someone I love
wait.
or like Power.
Yep.
I
Old
just
friend.
realized it really is full circle because last time we saw them was also in the Falling Arc. So
That's right.
it just makes sense.
That's right.
Oh yeah, this is
He
I'm
re-
wondering
this
how many
is-
chapters we have left until the end because we still have that world ending going on thing, guys.
I bet about
so-
18. Okay, let me get both of your takes on this. I am currently a Chainsaw Man Part 3 believer. I have been so since the very beginning. I think it's coming through.
Really, I don't think there's gonna be a
with
part
how
3.
he wrapped up part 1. I think he's capable of finishing part 2, as in like just part 2 is it.
Yeah, I think so too because
But
at
if
this
this-
point, I don't think Fujimoto wants to continue. Like, I don't know. I feel like part 2 is
That's,
gonna be.
that's the thing though. Every director, well, not every director, but I'm just gonna say it. Every director needs a magnum opus trilogy.
That's what I'm saying. The trilogy, it's
Okay.
compelling. And look at where we are in the story.
I
It's
don't
like,
know, guys.
he-
I don't want to wait a year for or how many long years it'll take for part 3 to see Asa again.
Oh, you're still.
gonna
Oh
go
my god,
crazy.
you are still
gonna go
so
crazy.
young. Cool it, you can enjoy. You
We're all
can
gonna
enjoy
be
your
disheveled old
Yeah,
men by the
you
time we
don't
get
want to
to
wait. You don't want to
All
wait.
right, all right.
I'll be fucking like 40. Well, I don't care. Do it forever. Keep going.
True. I'm just hoping that, like, if he does do a part 3, like, I don't know. I just hope it'll be good. You know?
Well, if he wants to do the trilogy thing right, the second one has to be like the low key best. Like people don't like it when it drops, and then it's low key actually the best one, and then the third one has to be bad. Like it has to suck. So like I'm ready for Fujimoto to lock in and make some like terrible.
It could be
just
terrible,
corny.
but like incredible slop for anyone who loves it.
Yeah, just like Kishibe comes in, teams up with Quan Chi, Mirisugo gets like 3 kills
major.
on like, just like dumb shit going down. Aki and Power come back to life, have like a heartwarming moment with Denji, and then like go, and then like die again, like so stupid, like literally just go full fanfic on it, and that's a perfect part 3. Let's just do it.
No.
Let's do it.
I wouldn't be able to live up through that.
I don't think he could do it if he tried. He would fuck it up. He would make it messed up and good
Part 3
somehow.
would be just Fujino.
Yeah.
Fujino's actually writing Chainsaw Man the entire time. We're in the alternate universe with Kyomoto alive.
Yo!
That's like a good Fujimoto way to make it
Wait,
suck. That's
where-
like actually cracked.
Where's Shark coming out?
we don't have Shark Cake. This is the alternate universe because Shark Cake doesn't exist there. Shark Cake doesn't exist in the alternate universe.
That's right.
So you have Chainsaw Man.
So real.
Yeah.
So real.
Yeah.
This is we'll oh God. Okay, fuck it. That's what I'm thinking. Also, just the fact that like we're here in the story. It's chapter 182. We're rapidly approaching the 196 would be exactly the same length. No, 194 would be exactly the same length of part 1 and part 2, which I don't think he's trying to be that exact with it.
I think we're basically there.
I think without that,
Yeah, we're almost there.
you're almost there. It's 12 chapters left.
Isn't
A lot can happen in
that
12
reminds
chapters.
me, isn't chapter 81 and 82 the snowball fight? I don't remember. I think it is.
Is it? That would be crazy. Help me.
I'm
It's
gonna
snowing
look.
right now.
Yeah. So, we're closing in on what seems like the ending. I mean, the Asa and Denji core threads of the story are coming together, and the only thing that's left are like these bigger picture things like the Fire Devil, like Bram, like public safety.
Yeah,
Right?
actually, no, I was wrong. The chapter 81 is with Power dying.
Great. Perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. What is wrong with this guy? Yes. But, those are all big time things. Big things, big conflicts, and you could save those for a third part. You can have that be the return of Chainsaw Man, right? Like Denji hasn't gone chainsaw mode and chainsawed stuff. You know what I mean?
What about
We can have
Army of Darkness Part 2? Part 3.
that's what I'm saying. Like, we had the public
need to watch
safety
Army of
arc.
Darkness.
Now we have our wonderful school life arc with so much wacky school.
So much school.
With so much wacky school life antics. Just this is really what being in school is like.
This is a Gen Alpha experience right now.
Honestly, yeah.
Yep.
This day and age, yeah. It does feel like that.
That's how it is. And I hope not. I hope your school life was nicer than this. For all the
Yeah, a
students out
little
there.
bit nicer.
I hope this is not what you went through. God damn, the suffering.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting we're going to have the Death Devil, the Apocalypse, the Fire Devil, all this other stuff. We'll probably have some big reveals at the end of part 2. Luke, I'm your father type moment kind of shit, right? Like, oh fuck, and then part 3 coming in 50 years or whatever. Or
Yoru was
never.
Denji's mother all along.
Oh my god! Like, some crazy shit.
Fujimoto coming in again, last minute with incest.
It's like, yo,
Dude, no.
yo.
Isn't it already bad enough?
Yeah. It's already really. He's coming. Boom, blah. You thought we were done. Boom. No way. Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's coming in with a folding chair. Oh no.
We could get the get the Yoshida Asa sibling crack theory. That would be the best. That's my favorite. It's like
kind of funny, yeah.
they're both Kishibe's kids. That's the funniest shit, I think. That'd be the
As
best.
for my predictions for part 2, I think he's gonna try to wrap it up, and finish a little later than part 1. Like, we'll see, right? He still hasn't drawn any color drawing, by the way. What the hell?
Well, okay. I will let you
This
know.
lazy.
I will let you know.
guy.
The colored drawings are a Weekly Shonen Jump magazine thing, right?
No.
Like,
Someone else.
But it's
does it.
unfair.
yeah. Tatsu does some color illustrations for Dandadan though, and he's not in the magazine. It's like can't even do
Wait,
like
he does?
you can't. Yeah. He's like like a little, you know, they're like color pages of Momo and Okarun. They're just standing, like there's nothing crazy. Like it's not in the manga, right? But it's just like
Okay,
a
yeah.
little extra illustrations for funsies.
Oh yeah.
But we don't get any of those.
Oh, the lazy ass guy. Yeah,
I agree with that. I
Hey,
was,
he did a color drawing for the Chinese showing of Look Back.
that's true. That's true. The special illustration that I didn't get. So bad still. Fuck the one. I have to buy this one. This is pissing me
It'll be
off.
very valuable in the future.
I'm spending another $2,000 to go to Japan again to get it. No, I'll just buy it. But fuck.
I actually bought volume 14 in Japanese just to get an Yoru postcard.
There you go.
It's really nice.
Yeah, there you go. That's real. How you like that? You were a postcard now.
I don't really.
You
I
know?
actually didn't really want that anymore.
Yep. Chainsaw Man. What a story. Okay.
Yeah.
This is literally impossible because no one has any
Gotta
idea.
wrap it up.
Like we got no clue what this could be.
I mean, I'm sure there's clues like put it into the whole story, but you're gonna read it.
But okay, what do we think
Wait, do you mean like
is
the
coming
end of
in
part
the next
two or the
chapter?
Next chapter. Okay.
And what do we think is coming in the very next chapter? Chapter
I don't know, you guys tell me.
183. Oh, what? That's not the segment. You're just like, I don't know. You guys do it.
tell me.
You do the segment. I give up.
Just kidding.
The
But
flashback's gonna be 1 page long. It's gonna be 1 page of flashback. That's it.
They just turn around and it's 184 coming and like,
Oh, imagine if
Cracks.
it's silent comments and you can't hear what they're saying.
oh, what the fuck? Fuck that. No.
They turn around and they say something, but we can't hear it. But we're not Denji.
They turn around, it's two different people.
Come on.
They were just wearing the same
So-
clothes. It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, well.
Missing the
what
same
if-
limbs as well.
Wait. What if we see Makima?
Makima was not on this trip.
That was not in Kaido, though.
Makima did
I
not go
have
on
a
a
prediction. I have a prediction. If Denji's gonna be throwing up all the devils, then it'll come to Makima flashback.
Well.
At least, like,
Well. People are talking about
Yeah.
bitterness. That's one of the things he meant. Bitter.
yeah.
Coffee.
I think
Coffee, like Reze.
that's Reservoir.
That's right. That's right. Reze could reappear in the manga.
Want Reze to be busy farming
you'll
somewhere
be
in
a
Siberia.
clear
Okay.
memory. But I know I have some oofs who would be really happy to see that.
I
I would
still,
too.
I think she's gonna come back. This might even be the big time reveal at the end of part 2.
Maybe.
Reze was with us all
All
along.
the-
We just didn't see her.
All
No. Reza was the Death Devil all along.
all of the other hybrids, including Quan Chi, come back, and it's like one after the other, and they're all there, and then it's like one of them is missing, and everyone's like, "Well, I guess she's never coming back," and I'm like, "God damn, what the hell is this? You guys, what?"
She's farming. She's farming in
trolling.
Siberia. Don't bother her.
People are just. Only Fujimoto fans are like, keep my favorite out of this fucking manga. Do not let this man touch her. Keep her away from him.
She's living a happy life.
That's right.
Get away from her. Get away from her.
We get Reza at least to look back, but why the
That's
hell
right.
isn't she in the manga, right?
That's right. We
This
get the,
fucking bastard.
we get the blonde Reze. Love that one.
Love
It's
it.
kind of cute.
Yeah, it's good. He should have
Her
done
hair
it.
is more, what do you call it, fluffy as
Okay,
well.
none of us have made any
Yeah.
predictions about
I
183.
I have predictions.
Just
It's
go crazy. No one knows.
It's probably not going to be this chapter, but when he's starting to vomit octopus, it's going to be Yoshida coming out of his mouth.
Oh, okay.
No.
I had a different one because here's my thing.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Octopus is in there, right? Octopus, we have seen having crazy teleportation powers, right? You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah,
What I'm
I'm getting it.
I don't get
I'm
it.
catching what you're getting.
They need a way out. You know what I mean?
Oh, come on, be serious.
What?
What is the flashback gonna do?
No. Like later on, Denji gets up, bitterness and,
oh, right.
and then
I mean,
octopus
I guess
and then
that would be
octopus
a way to
gets
get
him
out.
out of there. I could see it. You know what I mean? Yoshida saves the day. Everyone would love that. That would go crazy. I would
I mean,
love
it's about
that.
time Yoshida does something.
Finally!
Great.
He did a thing.
I know.
He did a thing in the fight. He grabbed Pochita.
Yeah, he just grabbed him.
him.
And got eaten.
Yeah, yeah. But
Is-
yeah.
Nobody knows if Yoshida is okay. Nobody.
God. Not my son, Yoshida. Please. You can't do this to me.
Bro, he's a side character. What did you expect?
If Denji flashes back to like chopping up Yoshida, I'm gonna lose it. I'm fucking done with this stupid manga, dude. Fuck that. No, not my boy.
Actually, I feel like it's kind of crazy how part 2 really enhances a lot of the topics that are in Fire Punch. It just came to me.
It's true,
It's really interesting how he turns to concepts.
including snow. It's
I mean-
snowing right now.
Dude, if we're gonna get a similar ending to what is in Fire Punch, I'm just gonna throw the table out of my house.
I kind of
Just gonna
hope
go
we
crazy.
don't. I kind of hope we don't. That ended kind of unraveled a little bit, but
Yeah.
I
feel
think-
like
I think he's
I
gotta-
lost my mind a little bit once I read it.
it is.
Like,
It does make you kind
Something
of go insane.
changed me fundamentally.
Yeah,
after
something
I read
it breaks your brain. It's a little
It does.
it's a little
It does.
scuffed, but okay. I will actually make a prediction for chapter 180. I'll make an actual
Okay.
concrete. I'll make an actual concrete guess. I think we can go there. We see the Aki and Power flashback, and we go back to Asa and Denji, and they start explaining what is going on to each other.
No.
In some
No,
ways.
that's not gonna happen.
No.
You're not gonna explain shit.
I think it's time. I think
No.
it's too far at this point. Like, Denji's gotta have some questions for Asa Yoru. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what is with you?
Okay.
At this point,
Okay,
it's
okay.
too
No,
much.
those
He's
are
gotta
questions
ask.
For Yoru and Asa. This will be questions for Asa only. Like, what the fuck, girl? What are you doing?
Yes, but that's what I mean. It's like, we got, and then like, Denji, Chainsaw Man, if they gotta get out of here, there's gotta be some kind
You
of
gotta
like,
at least explain themselves.
yeah, what is happening?
I mean,
I think we're gonna get it.
You could say this segment of the story is like kind of a breather for us and Denji. Right.
Yeah, great breather. Thanks, Yoru, for being here. For everybody's glad that you were here for this. Oh
I
God!
wish you're never ever step like, dude.
But that's what makes the story. That's what the story's about.
It
you know?
hurt.
That's right.
I really can't stand her.
That's right. Yes, Yoru. Yes, that's what I'm expecting. That's my broad expectations, but of course I got nothing. Like, that's literally that's all I got. Any other guesses from the guess?
I'm guessing an anti-guess. So I'm guessing things that probably won't happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is a pattern. I don't think he's gonna continually vomit like each chapter or every couple of chapters or something. I think something would flip. I mean, it's Fujimoto. So it's like people are saying, oh, because he ate like 4 things or 3 things. I forgot how many things.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna repeat. I think something's gonna happen, like, to prevent it. Well, or something weird.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
expected.
We're not going to see the train, the vomit extravaganza. That's not happening. Fizzy is cutting it out. No, these theories are done. All right, I'm there.
I want it to be exciting. I don't want repeats.
No, yeah, I get it. It's it would be a little like boring, to be honest, if you think about it.
Yeah, I could see it. I think if I'm in Fujimoto mindset, I could see him going all at once. You know what I mean? Like just let it all go. That's some yeah, with like a crazy double spread of some shit.
Once the Power 1 passes, it's over for him.
Yeah.
I mean, it could go a lot of ways, right? I think what's more interesting is what's gonna happen in the flashback of Aki and Power.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? What purpose does it serve? Right.
That's
sappy memories. It's gonna be sappy memories that Denji's gonna be like, oh no, I missed them so much.
If we know Aki and Power, we know these memories are not gonna be sappy at all. They're gonna be chaotic and probably painful because Power's gonna like hit him in the face
like,
or something.
Remember part 1?
Remember when Power was like constantly looking trying to kill him? No, all the good times. The good times when Power was puking
barfing
and Aki was yelling at him. True, I love it.
We talked a lot.
I don't know about no idea about the flashback. As per usual, as it has been for the past like 4 months of this fucking story, no one has any idea what the fuck is going on. What is gonna happen?
We're all hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, this guy can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and he just does.
At least hopefully it'll be coherent by the end.
Yeah,
right?
that's what he's. That's how he set it up for himself. Because he's a little devious little goblin, and now we're all just on his stupid ride.
I don't want to get off this wild ride. I'm here, seated, buckled up.
Oh, I want off so bad, but there's no shot I'm getting off now. This shit is so great.
I can't get off.
Yeah. Oh God.
My butt is glued to the front seat.
Let's all lock in to suffer some more. Coming soon, no break this week. Thank God we didn't have to wait after
no break this week? Oh, man.
Thank God we don't have to wait with Aki and Power hanging in front of us. We get the juice right away. Locking for that. We'll be back here discussing it, reacting, giving our thoughts, failing to predict as we do. Thank you, both of my guests, for being here. Thank you, everyone.
Of course.
For having us.
Yeah, thank you for everyone who listened. Like, subscribe, comment, tell us your wrong prediction, and we'll laugh about it or something. This was the Public Safety Special Broadcast. I was your host, Secret Doves. See you next time.